All right, back in the basement again today for a training session. I figured I'd vlog some of it because I'm going to be using a deadlift bar, which I haven't used in a very long time. Now, my last video, I talked about not being comp specific, being able to play around with some toys. I haven't used a deadlift bar in at least a year, I think, and I have two of them. I have the Kabuki and I have the Texas, which are over there. I'll be using the Kabuki today. I actually posted on Instagram today about a new American barbell deadlift bar, which is stainless steel and will be actually more whippier, at least based off the specs, than the Kabuki, which is the current champ. So I figured I'd just take you along and show you what I got working. So another reason the Kabuki is so popular is because it puts the distance between the plates as far as possible compared to the other barbells on the market. So with the further weight distribution combined with the 27mm diameter of the shaft, you tend to get even more whip. This is why a lot of people think the Rogue Ohio deadlift bar is a little bit stiff, because if you compare them to the other bars in the market, their plates are actually in a little bit closer. So the Kabuki with those thin collars, push them out, and what you get is a very whippy bar for even my working sets at 385. Can definitely feel a difference compared to a regular stiff comp collared bar. So another thing that's nice about this bar is when you take a look at the knurling past the ring marks, it's a little bit shorter than some of the other deadlift bars out there, because no one's going to take like a snatch grip deadlift for the most part within reason. Why this is helpful is because when you put it on a deadlift jack, it allows you to kind of move the bar left and right a little bit on the smooth, instead of the aggressive knurling which this bar has, getting caught on your deadlift jack and either scratching up the bar, the jack, or the UHMW. So speaking of the shaft itself, this is in black oxide. Now, if you don't know about Kabuki Power, I say power because it used to be Kabuki Strength. They kind of closed their doors, jettisoned a lot of the people, a lot of the things they do, and then came back and rebranded as Kabuki Power and re-released all of their barbells with black oxide finish, which they're now calling black ice and trying to put a lot of marketing behind it. And in general, black oxide is pretty low when it comes to oxidation, and it's not a very nice finish in my opinion. However, Kabuki does a fantastic job with it, so I do like the black oxide or black ice from Kabuki Power now, but don't get it twisted. It's not as nice as stainless steel or maybe even some of the other finishes out there in terms of resistance to oxidation, but it looks nice and it's held up really well on my bar. I think I've had it for like almost 2 years now. So a few final thoughts for me. Number one, as I mentioned, Kabuki Strength is now Kabuki Power. They're selling some of their old bars. They're not up to standard bars, which is funny because Kabuki standards are a little bit iffy in my opinion, but they're selling only the nickel shaft with black oxide sleeves for $519 right now. Would not do that. If you could buy a new one, so the Kabuki Power, which is the same specs and build and all that as the old one, I think it starts around like $479 after shipping. It ends up being $550. So I'd probably go for the newer version if you're looking at this. And again, the main reason why you'd get this bar in particular is just if you want as much whip as possible, or if you compete in like USPA that uses these in some cases. I find a lot of them still actually use the Texas deadlift bar, which I think is the best value. Right now, Texas is running a sale. It's like $305 for the bare steel version, Cerakote chrome, I think up to like $400. So you're still gonna save almost $200 on a bar that's kind of stood the test of time. And when it comes to actual construction of these, I mean, they're very similar. Kabukis are a little bit clanky. So are the Texas because the roll pin design. So it really just depends on, do you want to spend that extra $150 to $200 plus for just a more whippy bar? And I say that because, as I mentioned, the American barbell version is coming out soon. That's going to be stainless steel. That's going to be more whippy, at least based off the specs, than the Kabuki. but the price is going to be probably around 700 to 800 bucks. So really interesting or not interesting proposition for many of you out there. Let me know what you think about the Kabuki bar, deadlift bars in general. In the meantime, as always, thanks for watching and stay big.